Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the MCU crew. And welcome to the Summer of Morbius.
Oh, it's actually over. I'm so sorry.
What? It's really?
Attendance for Morbius down 74% after the first week. I'm so sorry.
God
Summer
damn
Morbius
it.
is over.
So
Wait, so they went down to 1 billion?
I had my hot girl Morbius look. Hot summer Morbius
No,
look.
Hot Morbius summer is over. I'm so sorry.
Hot boy Morbius summer.
Yeah. Sadly, down 74% from every person on planet Earth seeing it 4 times to every person only wanting to see it once. It was a tough ride, but here we are.
Well,
I know even stars must fade.
I wanted to let that breathe a little. You know, I had that deserves
a moment of silence.
I want to know,
all the air that it takes out of the room.
I want to know that I rubbed my eyes right before this, and it looked like I was kind of crying there too, so it felt really good.
Yeah,
I had like a little red going on, where I was like, "Rip."
Yeah,
rip.
It made all the more bucks that it could. You know.
Yeah.
Sad times.
There was a good solid day where everyone was talking about Morbius, and that quickly passed.
Well,
and now we've all collectively moved on.
Talking is I guess a way to phrase it. Shitting on is probably more apt description of what was occurring. But yeah,
it's time for Madam Web. Get ready.
No, the next Marvel superhero.
The next Marvel superhero. I'm ready for it. Madam Web.
Madam Web. Who's playing Madam? Isn't it why do I think it's the girl from, isn't it Dakota Fanning? So I'm like, no.
Dakota Fanning? No, I don't think so.
Maybe I'm just blank. Isn't it the girl from that God damn it, what is, not Eyes Wide Shut, the like new age item wise.
Eyes Wide Shut. Are you talking
Dakota
Euphoria?
Johnson? Wasn't Dakota that's the name of the actress who's playing Madam Web. And Dakota Johnson was in the 50 Shades of Grey. It's the 50 Shades of Grey lady.
50. Why did I think you
Look, I got there. It's just my boomer mind.
No, I get it.
I had to
understand.
connect the dots. We're slow. The coffee is not kicking in yet. Yeah.
I'm gonna let you know, Dakota Johnson, take that money and run.
Yeah, just
because no one about to see that movie. But like, girl, get yours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Anyways, it's now day 7 billion trillion of not having a Thor trailer. Marvel is still holding that for Love and Thunder. We don't have any news on when it's going to come out. Couple rumors.
It'll be at the end. It'll be at the end of Multiverse of Madness. 100%.
Dude, that'll be the post-credit scene in between the two movies coming out.
They did a press tour, my man. Honestly, I 100% believe the stuff that was on Reddit about how the reason why there's not a trailer is because they had to do major gore reshoots. I believe that shit now.
Maybe.
I guess they changed Gore the God Butcher, like his look.
Yeah.
Completely, they changed it.
I mean, we know more about the movie because of the goddamn action figures than we do about trailer or any like actual promotional material.
Are there new toys?
There are new toys. We have actual storylines that have been spoiled by these toys.
What?
If you guys want to take a look, I'll throw up the spoiler tag.
Spoil me, Toy Daddy. Let's see.
These fucking toy spoilers, for some reason, are so upsetting to me. I don't know why, but I'm always just like, really? That's what we're getting spoiled by? We've resorted to begging for toy crumbs in the absence of a proper. Truly, is this where us Marvel fans have found ourselves?
What is this voice?
May I have another?
It's my Stephen Grant voice.
Oh, okay.
Papa,
gotcha.
May I have another?
Well,
another spoiler, Papa.
The top
I
three
don't
here.
know what that means.
The top 3 here are not the big spoilers, really.
Hot sausage and mustard.
We got a little Mighty Thor, aka Jane Foster Thor, with a movable head. You can take her head off. I don't know if that means that she's got neck cancer. Like, what's going on?
That's how they solve it. Remove her head.
Just remove her head. Look, Taika said it was gonna be crazy. We got a little Groot. We have the guy from Powder as Gore. It looks real ridiculous. I don't know if I like the look of this character. at least the toy of the character, looks kind of rough to me to see Gore like this.
And this is what's interesting about it is the original photos of Gore look very like with the tentacles and stuff.
Yeah.
Like look like the comic book version. And this guy and the poster, there's an official poster of his character. Doesn't look like his ass at all.
The sword looks dope though. The all black looks really badass.
You think it's because they wanted to make him look more like Christian Bale?
I don't know. I mean,
so people can be like, hey.
I guess Thanos looked a little bit like his actor, Josh Brolin. Yeah.
By the end, for sure.
Yeah. Here's where the spoilers and storylines start to reveal themselves. We got a little Ravager Thor. He's a member of the Ravagers. I think that's how that movie's going to start, is he's a spacefaring guardian of the galaxy. And we also have King Valkyrie. So we know what her deal is now. She is we kind of knew that already, but this makes it, straight up official. She is the leader of Asgard in everything, including name. And Star-Lord straight up in this, which we knew, but Ravager Thor is a little bit of the new thing. So all of this was kind of soft confirmed, but this pretty much locks it in. Ravager Thor looks straight up like an 80s metal band member with this like cut off leather jacket and like sleeveless shirt and just straight up muscles. And that's it.
It definitely, it is 100% a Taika Waititi thing. Like just looking at that, 100% that is just like, we're going to make him look like he's from the 80s and like give him a whole vibe. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
And then there's just straight up like armored Asgardian Thor over here with the removable hand. I don't know. I guess that's maybe the grip. This isn't Mjolnir. What is the name of the axe? Stormbreaker, right? Is that accurate?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Something like
okay.
that.
Mhm.
All right. So those are the spoilers. That's all we got. Not necessarily the biggest, but I really
Is it
wonder what
just
that
me?
trailer's going to have.
Or do toys look really stupid when you're looking at them in a photo, like in good lighting? But when you're in a store, they look so cool. Or when they're like on your shelf. But then when they're in that bubble wrap packaging and fluorescent lighting and a photo of them is on the internet, for me, they always look stupid.
I don't disagree. Yeah. I don't disagree with you. I think
I don't know why that is. I think like why is it that if you were to put those in a Disney gift shop, I would be like, these are great. But when I'm seeing them laid out like that, I'm like, these suck.
These
Whoa. All right, hold on.
What's that?
Open image and new tab. This is for all of the kids at home. I'm gonna send this to you. Here's a close up.
Oh, what is this of? The box art or something?
No, this is a close up of Gore the God Butcher.
Oh, the toy.
Yeah.
Okay. I've carried the spoilers over to here. Yeah. Oh, he's missing his head. Is that what you're?
No, well, he has like tendrils, and this is again. I feel like this is them trying to. We have Christian Bale. We don't want to cover him in prosthetics. I feel like this is definitely a corporate thing. He looks like Voldemort, not.
This is,
he looks like the engineers from Prometheus.
That's him. That's the back of the
does look.
of the back.
You're totally right. He does look like the engineer from Prometheus.
Back of the box.
Yeah, like you killed Jesus, and therefore your society has been found lacking.
Dude, I forgot that was a point. I forgot that was a plot point in the movie that Jesus.
Yo,
was an
I
alien.
love Prometheus.
I forgot that.
I love that movie. I'm sorry. I love it. I don't know why. It's my one flaw, my one character flaw. But that looks like the dude from Prometheus. It's like, mankind has failed, you know?
Can I tell you, Prometheus, 2/3 a great movie. And then 1/3,
yes.
they were like, oh, I think we're supposed to be Alien. And they tried really hard to make it Alien again.
Yeah.
If they would have just scrapped the Alien part and like made a crazy sci-fi movie, that shit would have been flawless.
Agreed.
Flawless.
Agreed.
He looks all right. I think I'm seeing
It's
this.
not, yeah, it's not bad.
Gore looks a little bit
He just
better.
doesn't look like the canonical Gore.
He
But it's,
doesn't
not
look like a
bad.
guy that's just gonna murder gods.
He
And a
looks
lot
sympathetic.
of gods.
When I look at his eyes, I see sadness.
Yeah, do you?
I do.
A little bit of sadness.
Look at his eyes. You don't
That's
see
because
sadness.
he's after
in his
Harry
eyes?
Potter, the boy who got away.
That's
The
gonna
boy
be.
who lived.
The internet's gonna run with that. Here's Ravager Thor
Potter.
back of the box.
Yo, I love this Thor. Huge fan of this because I think it 100% plays into Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Like this whole thing up and down reads, I'm about to watch a movie with Chris Hemsworth, have the best fucking time, and I'm here for it. Here for it.
That is true.
I was excited to see Christian Bale naked.
What?
Harry Potter.
Let's be real. Gore is like naked except for a hoodie he wears. I was like, does that mean Christian Bale's gonna be walking around in white paint?
The only sword I wield,
That
Harry
guy's,
Potter.
listen, that guy's body transformations alone sell movie tickets. I was like
Could
ready
be.
to hear. Oh, Christian Bale has gained 278 pounds of muscle to play Gore the God Butcher, and he's going to be doing this entire thing with nothing but a pasty over his junk. Because that's Gore's like. Am I
It's a
wrong?
big
Hold up. Let me
pasty.
look up Gore.
Yeah, most
I'm not
most of
wrong.
Gore's
He's like
most of Gore's
98%
art is
naked.
like
Yeah.
he's got like flowing. He looks most of the Gore art looks like ancient Greek, like Greco-Roman statues with like the flowing robes and stuff. Yeah, he's a cool ass character.
Yeah, he's like mostly naked.
This next one, I don't know what's going on. That doesn't look like Natalie Portman at all. And the text says Jane Foster's life is forever changed when she mysteriously comes to possess the hammer Mjolnir and the power of the mighty Thor.
What's interesting about this is that it is the cracked, broken version.
And Hela cracked that in Norway, right?
Right, where
So-
they founded the town. So it's possible she could get it there.
What
Maybe
if,
they've even rebuilt it in the town. I don't know.
let me ask you this. What if the story is that Thor is in space doing Ravager and Guardian business, all the while back on Earth, Natalie Portman from MCU verse gets cancer and dies, and this is a variant where she becomes Thor
No.
somehow. You don't think they kill her?
Complicated, not happening. They're definitely not going to do a got cancer, died story. Not
You
happening.
don't think cancer? Do you think cancer is in this plot whatsoever?
No, I don't.
I don't
It's
think so either.
dark. It's such
Yeah.
a dark storyline. And they just lost one of their actors to cancer. I don't
And
think
then another major plot point of another movie is the dude's mom dying of brain cancer. So I don't know that there's like I don't know that it's
Yeah.
gonna happen.
Okay, all right. Well,
I think
I'm
this is
sure
gonna
the
be like-
trailer.
The-
What's
it's the one thing that's like super dark about the comics is like, oh, when what is it like when she's Thor, she doesn't have the cancer? Or no,
Yes.
hold up. We did
We did
because
this
like
before.
it
Yeah.
moves it from her body, but then when she goes, as soon as she detransforms, she has it again.
Right. Who do you
It's been
think?
so I should really reread those comics. They're really good. But
Who do you think Gore takes out then on the Asgardian pantheon to invoke Thor to actually like battle him? Or do you think it's just they start taking out other pantheons like Zeus dies and Thor's like, oh, Zeus is dead? Well, Odin's already like passed the fuck out. He's not even living. He's in his long sleep.
I'm trying to think. I don't necessarily think that
Freya's dead. Hela's dead.
Asgard's gone.
Yeah, we didn't see Hela die on camera. I don't think.
No, Hela's gone.
No.
Hela exploded with Asgard. That story's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, Well, she didn't die on camera though.
Yeah.
Loki's
Odin-
dead. Like, is Thor
But
the
if
only
we have-
Asgardian living? In
no,
terms of
no,
a
there's
god?
all the
As a
what's her
god?
face? God, what is her name?
Oh, the girl that was
Um,
in Loki, Lady Sif.
Yeah, Sif is back.
Because
Sif
the
is back,
Warriors
she
3
was-
are dead, but Lady Sif is still there.
She
What
she
about
escaped.
the bridge person whose name I cannot think of right now? That character.
He's super dead. He got killed by Thanos. Heimdall, he's dead.
Yeah, Heimdall's
did
dead.
Heimdall get snapped?
Yeah, at the beginning
No,
of
Heimdall got stabbed
Infinity War.
in the beginning. He's the guy who gets Hulk out.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
oh my
Heimdall died.
god, I completely
Almost-
forgot that.
Yeah, most of them are dead. I think here's the thing is that there's enough that I think that we can discover, like, there could be other ones, but I think because they're all dead, that's the reason why we have all these other gods showing up in the thing,
Maybe.
like Zeus and
Maybe. I'm trying to piece together like how, I mean, maybe Gore goes after Thor, and that's where Jane Foster comes in. Like maybe Thor actually gets close to dying or something. That'd be kind of wild.
Honestly, I think it's gonna be the reverse. I think it's gonna be the goof is that Jane Foster finds the, like, the remnants of Mjolnir,
Mew.
whatever.
Let's go with Mew
Mew
Mew.
Mew.
Yeah.
And puts it together and gets imbued with the powers of Thor, and then through like a comedy of errors, while our boy actual Thor is like out gallivanting around the galaxy, Gore the God Butcher is going to come to Earth looking for Thor and find this Thor, and that's going to cause other Thor to have to return to Earth, and then we'll learn the
Oh.
valuable lesson at the end, like, she didn't even need Thor, bro. She could have handled that shit herself. The end.
Is there any multiverse in
Convince
this
me.
movie?
Um,
Like, does Loki show up in this movie? The Loki from Loki. From the TV show.
I think if that's the case, that is like, that's the best kept secret they've ever done.
True.
Yeah,
One
I
of.
feel like we'd know by now.
We would
It's-
definitely know by now.
So I'm trying to sort out my thoughts. I think based off of the clothing choices and like the idea of there being a Ravager Thor, I definitely think they're going to lean into this idea that Thor has always kind of been like this aloof party boy that's not super responsible. So
Yeah.
I wonder if Jane is going to take care of the Asgardian refugees left on planet Earth while he's gone.
Could be. I'm
Like,
trying
I
to
almost wonder if she would go there looking for him and then realize like he's kind of, because he's in space.
Yeah, he goes off with the Guardians at the end of
Yeah.
Endgame. I was trying to remember his mental state. He's still like he's still chunky Thor at the end of that. So the start of that movie is definitely going to be him and Star-Lord like working out. There's going to be a montage of him getting back into shape, especially if we see him that way as Ravager Thor. 100% they're going to have a montage of him getting back into shape at the start of the movie.
And like, I totally understand him being depressed and stuff like that. Like, I get it, but it's clear even then, like, these are refugees that lost their entire home planet. And he's like, I need to play Fortnite and drink with my homies. Like, he's
That's why he
never
gave it to,
been,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he
Yeah,
gave King to what's her name? Because he was just like, I
he's
can't do
never
this.
been like a good leader. So I wonder if like there's going to be something that compels Jane to like rebuild the hammer. And maybe she rebuilds it for whoever is going to be taking care of those people, but then it chooses her.
Could be.
I just don't know why. Yeah, the interesting thing will be like what the inciting incident is that leads her to the hammer. Everything else I think pretty much makes sense, but her having the hammer, I don't think I would love to know what the MCU version of her being like, and now I have a hammer is, because that can be literally anything. There's so many ways it can go that I have no clue.
It kind of sucks that those toys came out, because That would be kind of a cool reveal. I wonder if that's going to be in the trailer at all. Like if they're going to try to keep that quote a secret for like an on-screen reveal to the general audience that's, not watching podcasts where they show trailers of Natalie Portman being Thor. They could wait, but it seems like that's kind of widely known. But the circles
Didn't
that I
she
travel in are pretty
announce
spoiled.
it at Comic-Con? Didn't she like lift up the hammer and like say she's like the new Thor at Comic-Con?
Yeah, I do remember something like
did,
that.
yeah.
Years ago.
Like it's confirmed that like she's Thor.
Yeah. Yeah. So kind of sucks. I wish that would be kind of a cool reveal, at least on screen. But,
100% would be awesome for it to happen on camera. It would be like, but yeah, I feel like I remember her holding up the hammer and like people cheering and like her confirming that she wasn't just like Thor's love interest, but like she was Thor.
Yeah. Crafteroon in my chat says Taika film Gore comes to kill the Asgardians. Instead, kills the Asgardian actors of Loki, Odin, Hela, Matt Damon, Sam Neill, and Melissa McCarthy.
That's one. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
What if that?
Yeah, that's definitely gonna
if
happen.
that happens, I would love that. That would be a great way to do
That would be so dark,
happening.
though.
It would be very
They're
dark.
just actors. They're just actors.
Yeah. I hope that happens, but that would be like a weird. Maybe that actually is the best way because everyone kind of expects that now because we've seen that goof, right? And we know it's going to be in there. And I think they've actually got someone as well cast to play Zeus in like the actor troupe. I think that got leaked. But if they just murder him, if Gore just like shows up and just destroys them, it'd be kind of fun. Who knows if it'll happen? Jesse, are you finding anything? What are you reading? I see your research face.
Someone
is on.
says there's a photo of Gore trying to lift the hammer.
Oh, really? They got leaked.
I'm just trying to confirm, but I can't. I can't find it.
Let's see. I'm not seeing anything. It must be super leaked.
Must be very leaked.
Yeah.
The leakiest leaks.
Well, we'll see what happens. We maybe get that trailer next week, or maybe we got to wait all the way till Multiverse of Madness. The only other bit of news, which kind of just leads straight into episode 2 of Moon Knight Talk, Simu Liu was on Twitter calling out Moon Knight / Arthur Harrow for having absolute trash Mandarin in that second episode when he spoke to the woman after they get out of the car. The tweet Simu puts out is, all right, Arthur Harrow needs to fire his Mandarin teacher. Apparently the Mandarin that they speak is just like, it doesn't make any sense. There's like, it's not even intelligible words.
I'm gonna let you know, bad. The minute it happened, I already knew. I was like, that doesn't sound real. The minute they started doing it, I was like, someone's gonna have something to say about that. So hearing this, at least I feel justified in thinking it was like really weird.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't sound right.
It was real bad. Bye.
Hi, chat.
She's leaving on a jet plane.
Hi, Jesse and Bronze. I love you and I miss you.
I love you.
She's going on a jet plane. Anyways, so yeah, not, it happens. You would think that they would try to get that right, especially with them having a big audience now. After like Shang-Chi came out, like if I can just get that shit right, but it wasn't right. Let's talk about Moon Knight episode 2. There's no other news. Bronze, you started the call saying you started the call saying the show went from a 7 to a 9, bumped up 2 points. What was it that won you over?
Am I wrong, Pat? This last episode was so good. They removed a lot of the stuff that I didn't like everything. I was like, I don't like these shutter cuts. They took them out. I was like, I don't like this Venom voice. They, for the most part, took it out, and instead he's talking to Mark Spector now. Like all of my it was like a better version of episode 1. The plot, I still do not know how they are going to tell a story in 4 remaining episodes.
4 more episodes.
I don't know. That I have no clue. That I'm not sure how they're going to get through what they get through. But I almost wish this was the first episode. I like this one so
Can I
much
be real with you?
more.
Same page.
Yeah.
I think that
Yep.
if you look at the way that they're telling the story, if this was a movie, which I think is kind of what they did, they cut it up from a movie. But like, if the whole thing was going to end up in Egypt anyway, the first episode should have been the like, it's weird and I don't know what's going on. What? I'm in Egypt? Cut. End of first episode.
Hello.
And then like, totally agree. Totally agree.
I didn't like the first episode because it was just the trailer and it didn't really go anywhere, in my opinion. And I felt like I was hitting that point where I was like, do I not enjoy Marvel stuff anymore? Is this going to be another thing where the YouTube comments tearing me apart for my shit tier takes? You know, is this going to be another one of those? But then, like, after seeing episode 2, I really do think that was what I expected from episode 1. Because
It's a
they
slow
kind
burn.
of, it's a very slow burn.
Mhm.
Like, they kind of just re-established what happened in the first episode. Like, I really think you could start at episode 2 and understand exactly what's going on, and that's not really a good
Yes.
thing for episode 1.
Well,
That's
and
not
what's
exactly a
what's-
good thing for episode 1. But I feel like you could literally start at episode 2 and have an 80% idea of what's happening.
Yeah, and what's interesting is that first episode plays like we're about to enter a like very Legion-esque kind of like it's about to get weird.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a weird show. And the second episode is none of that. It is so completely not that. It is the Marvel version of like dual personalities in the same body, and like, yeah, it's definitely not at all like it's like completely opposite the first episode. It is an entirely different thing. I liked the weirdness of episode 1, but this one felt like it was like the more action movie version of
It was more Marvel.
episode 1.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
was
yeah,
back
yeah.
to the
I
Marvel
agree with
formula.
JP. I agree with JP. I love Legion. That's why I suggested we watch it. I love Legion. I thought that that's what Moon Knight was going to be.
Hmm.
But then when episode 1 unfolded, I was like, I don't like Disney's take on that type of story. Like for me, there
Mhm.
was something that wasn't connecting. It was like living in this weird place between like cartoony and comedic and like broaching really serious subject matter. I feel like in episode 2, they finally picked their lane where they were like, you know what? We're not going to do that. We're going to just go with this. And they leaned, because like if they tried to do some of the darker themes of what they were leaning into episode 1 and then do the bit where he's like in the Mr. Knight suit, he's like, oh, these are neat, aren't they? Oh, I look rather fancy, don't I? I would have been like, are you fucking kidding me? But because they like put us back, it's about managing expectations, right? It's about like
Mhm.
the tone of a series. I was reminded with this one that we are watching a Marvel show, so don't expect, you know what I mean? Don't expect like a depressed man going about his life where people treat him like shit and all of this stuff. Like, because that was what was jarring for me.
Sure.
Was like I truly felt for this character at points where I was like, I don't like the way people talk to him. It's giving like bullying. It's giving almost like ableism or something. I wouldn't talk to people. Like there was just, it felt like Hot Fuzz, or not Hot Fuzz, the other one, Shaun of the Dead, where it's like really hard to watch these like dry British people treat someone like garbage for no reason, just because they're a little weird. And
Mhm.
I really felt for this character and him losing his mind, but then it would cut from that to like him with the scarab being like, whoa, I can't hand you this thing. What's
Sure.
happening? And I was just like,
I still don't
The-
understand that.
it felt weird to me.
I don't understand that scene canonically because so far we've seen that Steven is in full control of his body, except for that thing of handing over the scarab. Like Mark was never. They mentioned that he could like keep something about like keeping focus, but Mark's never been able to like stay in control or control a aspect, unless that was Khonshu. But still,
JP?
it's weird.
Jay, are you hinting at a third personality, JP?
There's Jake's in this show. Yeah, they've
Are
already-
you
they've
hinting
already
that?
all but confirmed that Jake shows up in this show?
So I'm saying, are you hinting that potentially the control that's Jake, the one that's like taking control?
Somewhat. I read a comment and it actually really resonated with me that the way that they're splitting up the character Mark, Steven, and all that is basically like taking the essence of a person, and Steven is everything like good that could happen in a person, right? Like super knowledgeable. They have his wife in there because he understand. He like recites that her favorite poem, and so like that was a part of him that resonated in being like
Sure.
good. Um, everything that he wants to do is like morally good and positive, whereas Mark is just like a straight up fucking killer, and like it is aware that he is a bad person and a killer, and is fulfilling the duty that he has to do, and after that he's done. He straight up just says as much. I don't know if that means that he's gonna like disappear, or that aspect is gonna disappear, or what really he means by that.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, and I think this is the Moon Knight like lore, but isn't it originally Mark, and then Mark creates
Yes, Mark is the base.
yeah, and then Mark has Steven, which is like the posh hobnob with like the rich and famous. And then there's Jake, which is like the street level guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, mister, get my cab,
He's
buddy."
the suave,
and
charismatic one.
Yeah, and those are the three versions. And if the street level dude, who's like the sweetheart, is Steven now, I wonder what they've done to change Jake.
Well,
What
I
the-
don't think
like-
Steven's the street level guy. He was definitely awkward as fuck in almost all of his
No,
encounters.
but I mean, like, he's like working a normal job. He's
Oh.
like he's
I think-
Right, but, like,
awkward.
Jake functionally gets information for
Right.
the other two personalities. I don't think Steven would be capable of doing that.
I think Steven's the sleeper cell. Like he's the one that can, live incognito because he doesn't know any better.
Yeah.
And the idea that like, oh, my mom set this up. There's something that there was a throwaway line that wasn't, I think, a throwaway line when he's talking to, was it Lena? Is that correct? Whoever his
Layla.
wife is. Layla. Yeah. When he's talking to his
Mark.
wife.
Yeah.
He goes, oh yeah, this is my mom's place. And then she goes, oh, you're talking again. I think that entire backstory was just made up by Mark. And Steven is convinced that like all of his life is just completely fabricated. In terms of his mom buying that apartment, I think that's all just made up. In terms of getting that job,
he calls the
everything about it.
mom. He calls the mom, and I think based on the 2 times we saw him call his mom, 100% obvious that he's just leaving a message, which probably means
Yes.
she's not real.
That or
And-
or she died or so. Well,
Sure.
yeah, I guess that's true. If
But no matter
Layla said
matter
that,
what,
she's probably
there's no
alive.
one
I think,
there. He's
like,
talking to no
I
one.
think the face crack moment is going to be the thing that, like, comic book readers will know, but average viewers won't. I think it's going to be that, especially because they got into it a bit in this episode. Everybody
His
thinks
wife, yeah.
that Stephen Grant is the main personality and Mark Spector is the side. I think what's going to come out
Right.
is Mark Spector is the main personality because Stephen, when he starts saying, like, well, how long have you been around? When he starts asking those questions, it gets a little uncomfortable. And Mark specifically says that it didn't used to be like this, that the person who was in control of the body didn't have that much power,
Right.
but now something has changed. And in times you can almost feel like Mark is getting uncomfortable because it seems like he was able previously to step into the driver's seat whenever he wanted. And in the interim, Steven provides him a pretty great cover, right? I think that's why his accent is really bad. I think like
Yes.
it's intentional. I think they're trying to, I think he's an American who's faking a French accent. I think
Yep.
he's the perfect persona, the passport and everything. Like I do think Mark Spector is the main personality. And I think
Yeah. Oh,
Steven's
no,
going to
he
have
was
a
the
really
original.
haunting epiphany. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think like Steven's going to have a horrible realization at the end of it because it like there's too many loopholes where it doesn't make sense because he's sitting there, he's like, I can't feed my fish and I've lost my job and this has all happened because of you. And it's like, okay, but all the other times Mark killed these archaeologists in Egypt and did all this stuff. He was in your body, supposedly. Did you black out for a week? Or oh wait, were you like not around then? Oh wait, it might be that you're actually like the side personality, and he's just been letting you take control because you're the perfect foil. It's like hiding in plain sight. No one's ever gonna suspect this guy.
Yeah.
The question then is, what is that incident that caused Steven to, because it's very obvious based on just Steven's like past, and there's only so much, it like only goes back so far. And how long has Steven been working at the museum? When was the moment that Steven like that apartment? It's like an interesting plot device. Like, how long has he had that? What is the
random tangent? What do you guys think the significance of the sand is? Is that to show that he left? Is that a way for him to trace if there's footsteps? Or is
That's
there
what
more
I
to it?
assumed. That was what I assumed based off of his reaction to seeing prints in the sand. I thought it was like him a way for him to know whether or not he'd been out of bed.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's also like,
it makes me wonder if it's happened before and we never like off camera. But what were you saying, Jesse?
Yeah, it's just like a little far off of the bed, so you could kind of like jump it if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah. Quinn is saying it's like the flower test in Paranormal Activity. Yeah, totally agree. But I think the sand bit is fun because it's both one evocative of sand, Egypt. It's great, but also it reminds me a lot of Lost when they would put the salt around the house to prevent the like dude, like the monster in there, like one of those things. Like it was preventative measure in Lost as well to keep something locked inside.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Super interesting.
Yeah. Sorry, I was reading different chat stuff. I kind of wonder too with the episode 1 Easter egg of having Frenchie in the missed calls, if Frenchie is the will show up at all, and that will be where like Jake takes over. And we get like, the Frenchie Jake storyline. I also think the gold guy, because the credits say so, the gold guy's going to come in super clutch. But now that we're in Egypt, I don't understand how the gold guy's going to get from London to Egypt.
And this is what's crazy about this show. Like, I imagine if this was all released at one time, you could watch it in like a movie format.
Yeah.
But because it's a TV show, I keep thinking like, this, if you look at it as a TV show, the speed in which shit is happening seems so fast.
Yeah.
And then when you look at the clips that we've yet to see from, even before we started, we were looking at the supposed episode 3 trailer. Like, there's a lot of Egypt stuff. There's a lot of weird cult stuff. But then there's straight up just like a shot of Mark and or Steven in a mental asylum.
Yep.
And it's just like, are we getting that storyline too? And then how do we get the storyline of the gold dude in it? Like, there's so much to cram in that I have to believe that these are all setups for like future things, but they only have,
we got 4 more
Oscar Isaac's
episodes.
he's only agreed to do the 1 season so far.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know how they fit all this stuff in and make it, like meaty rather than just, because real talk, even though I loved episode 2, when he goes to meet the cult and he's sitting there and Ethan Hawke is just like talking to him, dude is just like, let me explain to you the entire plot of this entire TV show. And now we will talk about the gods. All right, here's the gods. I was with Khonshu once. Yeah. Here's some, it was just a lore dump. And in the background, there's people watching. Shout out to whoever
whoever long
ago decided all cults must watch nature footage. Whoever that person was, that is the best cult trope ever. There's like, dolphins are cool, like every time. But like, yeah, he straight up just like dumped lore, and that's fine. That also is because we have 6 episodes and they got to get through stuff, and there seems to be so much stuff to get through. I don't know how we do that.
There is a lot to get through.
Yeah,
I do wonder if some of it's going to be like flashbacks. Like, I wonder if like the mental asylum is going to be a flashback from when Stephen Grant first came into play. I would like to say that I did kind of hit the nail on the head. Another Bronze prediction was correct. I said that Mr. Knight wasn't going to appear in his usual form that he does in the comics, but it was going to be an Easter egg or a throw or like a shout out or a call out to the costume, the way they did with Kingpin. And I was right. Yeah, Mr. Knight is just like that character's name. I mean, that character could come into play later, but as it stands right now, that's just a costume that Stephen Grant created when told that he needed a white suit. But it's not the Mr. Knight character that goes and works with the police and
Yeah,
is like this other personality
yeah.
of, or I guess like this other facet
I think
of
that's the
Moon Knight. Like,
superhero origin story of Moon Knight is Steven as Mr. Knight. Because like he saw that he had power when he punched that thing. He like straight up grabbed the bumper off that car. Like he definitely has a sense of power. But when he's talking to Mark, he's like, I have no idea what the fuck I'm. Or Marcus says, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. What you're doing. Let me take over. Let me deal with this. And then straight up Batman like shows up with some of the best shots in the episode.
I could see this character like working with local authorities and solving crimes.
Absolutely.
And like, could you imagine him with his cute little nightsticks going up to people and being like, "Oh, do you need protection? Do you need my help?
Yeah.
I suppose I could help you. I've got these neat little stickies and I've got my little suit and maybe I could take care of it for you." His little fucking, that's what I imagine British people to be like. That his whole like, I'm Stephen, float like a butterfly, sing like a bee. I'm Stephen with a V.
There is
like,
a hooligan somewhere that's like, you what, mate? You what? You what?
But like, as someone who's never been over there, like I feel like that's what Americans like think of, like when they're like, "Oh, they're so proper. You're all fur coat, no trousers. You are." The way he was doing that, I was like, that's what I would. That's what I would do to mock a British person. That's what I would do to mock them.
The Chavs would be very mad.
I'm a little worried about the potential tangent that I might set this show on at the moment. Is anyone else surprised how like not shocked the people were that this was happening in front of them? Almost as if a man exists in the middle of the ocean somewhere.
I mean, they really tried to sell the idea of him being like a weirdo in a costume, flinging himself around. Like, but admittedly, the things that were being flung around were like
people were getting hit by the
cars
creature.
apart.
Yeah,
like people, like there was at some point someone would have been like, something's going on here, especially after Layla or whatever her name is throws the bottle.
Yes, on its face.
See a thing.
Yeah,
like I don't know, but meanwhile the old nans are like, "Oh, look at this small, he's a baby crazy."
Yeah,
I was like, "Oh boy, yeah." It is super interesting to see also that the like the cult. I like obviously I love a good, we're a cult and we're trying to do good but we're evil trope. But like if the premise of the cult is we are judging you based on how good you are.
Minority
There's a
Report.
lot of like, there's a lot of bad people. Like the things they're doing in that cult, I guess they're like, oh, we're doing it for good reasons, but like they're straight up killers in that. There's like bad people in that cult.
I think that Arthur only judges in front of all those people, but when he kills that person in the alleyway, they don't know that he does that. I think that's part of the like, Two-Face-esque of Arthur Harrow.
Right.
Because I don't know what happened. I guess he just gave the people in the cult shelter and food and all that stuff, and that's why they hang around and they got all the the markings on their wrist. But it didn't, apart from shelter, food, and all that stuff, he didn't really seem to have like any other control over these people apart from just providing. So I'm curious to see if there is some sort of other leverage that exists that we just don't know about. You want to mention
videos?
Oh, could be.
Their eagerness to like they give me like military vibes. Like maybe they were all former soldiers. Like
could be. Maybe.
That's the vibes they were giving from that village scene, like with the guns and stuff. Like a lot of them at least feel like, oh, like we were instruments of like, justice, but now we're gonna uproot evil from the.
Yeah.
That was just the vibe I was getting. Maybe I'm wrong, but
could be. They didn't go into like very great explanation apart from this dude judges people and these other people are mystified by that. And
I mean,
that's
they
it.
literally have a whole town in like Germany somewhere where you
It
know
seems
that.
pretty
I mean,
big. Yeah.
it is. I would love to know the size of this like Amit cult
Oh, we're going to see them
because they
again
seem to
100% in
be.
Egypt. They're going to be there.
Yeah, they seem to be like Hydra level, where they've got people everywhere. Like, oh, we need cops, we got cops. We need like guys to make lentil soup. Oh, we got a lentil soup guy. You know what I mean? Like they got everybody up in there. I don't know.
So,
Crazy.
Chat brought up a good, Calzone says, he specifically said to Stephen the difference between the medicine and the disease is dosage. Perhaps when he judges people, there's some sort of like mind control or something that like turns them into thralls for him. That might be how it occurs. Is part of the process.
You know what? I don't know if I've mentioned on this show, but I have mentioned this before in the past. My dear sweet friend Krendor and I, we hung out. We did a live show in December.
Yeah.
We hung out one night at his house, and we started watching like just random ASMR stuff. And I was
As
like,
you
none
do.
of this does it for. I was like, none of this does it for me. This is so weird. But we found this one girl. Her whole thing is she like keeps saying "good job" after everything.
Oh, I've heard
And
this
I was like,
from you. Yeah.
I was like, something about this like does it for me. And I wonder if the idea of, I'm telling you, it does it for me. I don't know why, but what I'm saying, the point I'm getting to, is that on a like grander scale, having a dude judge you and say you're a good person and you will never do anything bad the rest of your life, I think that's like a powerful.
That's true.
Like you can control people by being like, bro, you're like perfect.
Especially if they have checkered past, right?
Yeah.
Like if somebody like killed a bunch of people in the Iraq war and then came back to America and felt like a piece of shit about it, isn't this person the perfect person to like kind of reprogram you into his cult? And the fact that he kills the homeless man, like I feel like there was almost like a judgment that happened there.
A worth or evaluation or something.
Yeah.
He says
Yeah.
sorry to him. He doesn't, I don't think he even judged him.
It doesn't
He just said like
seem
sorry and then
malicious.
killed him.
Yeah.
But like, why else would he do it? The man handed over the scarab.
Yeah, I thought about that too. Like when I watched it a second time, if it was like because he had nothing to offer him, or if Arthur is a lot older than he's letting on.
And he's siphoning health from them.
Yeah, there was a
Ooh,
crazy fan theory that I read, and there's definitely holes, but a lot of people, not a lot of people, the fan theory in specific that actually got a lot of people supporting it is that Arthur is not a avatar of the Egyptian god that he says he is. He's actually Anubis, and he's
That's like
trying,
judging
he's trying to
people first.
find the god that he's looking for so that he can kill him and become like the person that rules the pantheon, the realm of the gods.
He does seem to know quite a bit.
Yeah.
The thing is that Anubis isn't like a bad guy.
Yeah.
I would say,
Well,
Set,
in general lore.
that would be like, if you want a villain, if you want the version of Egyptian Satan, Set is pretty much it.
Anubis
So
is
I would
death,
imagine
though.
like,
What?
yeah, but
Yeah,
like
but
Anubis isn't a
Anubis,
bad
like,
dude.
weighs your heart on the scale, doesn't he? Yeah. He's like, I don't know, unless they deviate very
But that-
drastically from canon.
That could just be the staff that's judging and not him.
Well, because the way it works is like you die, you go there, Anubis is like, welcome to hell, or the afterlife.
Yeah.
And here's the deal. There's a scale there, and either your heart weighs less than a feather, or I feed your heart to this giant Amit alligator, and you cease to exist. It's like way worse than it's like you disappear and everyone forgets you exist. Like that's the, but he's not like a bad guy. He's like, this is my job, bro.
Okay.
This is what I do. But like, there's actual evil deities in the Egyptian pantheon, so
Yeah.
like that could be a thing.
Because
I mean, that's
some of the footage that has been out there. Like they're definitely in some weird pocket dimension bullshit fighting. And that it's surprising to me that someone like Arthur can actually combat someone like Moon Knight if it's just a dude with a cane that can judge people. There's got to be something else going on.
I will say the one thing that seems a bit like, not to support, like, not to add too much to this, because I'm not. The one thing that seems suspect to me personally was that when he strikes the ground and summons a creature, it is a jackal.
Yes.
So like, and I actually didn't clock that it was a jackal until in the script, Mark Spector says, "It's a jackal,"
Yeah, it's
and then I
coming
was
after
like,
you.
"Oh, that's a jackal," and he recognized it as a jackal, and Anubis does have a jackal's head. So I mean,
Yeah.
I just think it would be a weird writing thing, I guess, because like I view him as like, I don't know, I view that character as like not somebody that would be like, unless you're right and it is like a ploy. The way Arthur does talk about stuff so casually
He knows a
does
lot.
seem like he lets on more than he does. When he's like, the other gods, they don't even. I'm like, well, they don't even take him seriously. He throws temper
Yeah,
tantrums
he's a joke.
like a little
Yeah.
child.
Yeah.
When he said that, I was like, well, you're claiming that you're an avatar of Amit. I can understand you knowing that god's impression of Khonshu, but how do you know everyone's impression of Khonshu?
Right.
And the
Like,
fact that he's not at all phased and he's like, "Can I talk to Mark?" Like he's like ready to like fight Mark right then and there, right? He's like, "Can I talk to Mark?" Like, you know? Like and Khonshu's like making all this stuff happen. It does seem like, well, you're not giving Avatar vibes. Like you are giving
there's something going on. Yeah, and it's also a little crazy to me that he just, in a very normalized conversation amongst a bunch of people, in the second episode of the show, just like drops, "Oh yeah, I was a former Avatar, blah blah blah." Like that's kind of a big plot thing to just casually drop. I think that was a lie. But I don't know who he could be. And maybe he is who he says he is. And that's that.
When the scene where Arthur shows up at the museum, and I'm trying to find it right now, but whatever. The scene where he shows up at the museum, does he say to Steven that the reason Amit was imprisoned is because Amit was betrayed by the former avatar of Amit? I think that's what he says.
I don't remember the specifics of that conversation.
Oh.
And I feel like that's a huge plot point that, like, I don't know what, like, that seems super interesting because I think that to me that seems less like Arthur is, you know, Anubis or Set or whatever, and more just like Arthur is a former Khonshu person who's like bitter about being a Khonshu person and is being used by Amit for something.
Betrayed by the other gods' avatars is what someone in chat's saying.
The other god's avatar?
Other gods' avatars, plural. So I guess if Khonshu can have an avatar, then like all these gods can have an avatar.
Sure, yeah. I don't, man. There's definitely a like twist coming for sure.
Yeah.
I think there's gonna be a lot of like, woo, gotcha, and I'm here for it. I'm ready for it. But they're dropping a lot of like weird little hints of things, and you know, even the story of Mark and Layla, and they're like, we won this adventure together. Remember how we found this thing and we did this? Like, there's a whole plot that we just don't know about.
I think
there's
that's
a lot we don't know.
interesting too. I do think like I do think I have a theory as to why the power dynamics have shifted so much. I think that, and this is really sad, I think that Mark Spector was planning on finishing this job and then just ceasing to take control of the body ever again. I think he was going to let Stephen Grant, because I think he, like, the one thing is, he says something's changed, right?
Yeah.
I think what's changed is that Khonshu has now spoken to, like, Stephen too. So Khonshu kind of fucked up Mark's plan. Like, it was Khonshu. Khonshu, like, is, like, talking to him, telling him to do this stuff. He's, like, messing with him, right? And that fucks up things for Mark, because Mark, at one point, that personality could have just receded into the background like a fly on the wall, And Steven would have went through his entire life, never would have approached Layla, never, and Khonshu's influence like would kind of be gone in some ways, But now, not only can he manipulate Steven into continuing to be an avatar, but he has access to Layla again.
Yeah.
Man, can I ask a question?
Could be.
Do we know the status of our two main antagonists and protagonists during the snap?
Nope. They have not mentioned anything regarding the snap whatsoever.
And we don't know anything about why Arthur is no longer the avatar of Khonshu.
He said, well, we don't know if it's the reason, but he basically says that like Khonshu judges people after they've already done bad. I'm blanking on whoever he's the fucking avatar now of, or says that he's the avatar now. She judges people before they've done bad, and it's more efficient, is what he says.
I wonder, can I?
Amit. Sorry, I'm blanking on the names.
I know this isn't what
Do
happened.
you think he got snapped and then he made
I was going to say
Mark an avatar?
Yeah. What if Arthur got snapped and then Khonshu was like, well, I need an avatar, picks Mark. Arthur comes back, sees that that he's been left behind and he's bitter about it. And then he's given the chance to well, if Amit was in charge, people like Thanos wouldn't exist because we'd get rid of him immediately. Like that kind of thing.
Could be.
I don't
We
know.
don't know anything about timeline of this show. They have not looped it back
Especially
into the
because-
grand scheme of MCU yet.
You know how like cults train you to like not to ask questions and stuff? Like what I love that Steven kind of shows that like as soon as he starts asking questions, how defensive Arthur gets. I had a similar line of questioning when he's talking about there's always another job, like Khonshu doesn't let you go. And I was like, okay, but then how did he let you go? Like I
Right.
had that thought almost immediately, Jesse. So I hadn't thought of the snap. So you've actually placed because I had that thought where he was like, there's always another job. Because if that was me he was talking to, I would be like, okay, so how did you get out? If there's always another job and Khonshu's not just going to let me go and he's going to keep giving me jobs, what did you do to get out? Like, how did you?
I think we have confirmation.
Did you just retire?
His passport was issued during the snap. Apparently,
Chat's also
It's the
saying
date
there's a logo on the bus in episode 1 of GRC, and that's like post snap confirmed. So
this is definitely post snap. So Mark was around alive during the snap, and so I think that could be like if they were gonna make this show like 99% not connected to the grand MCU, but like this one thing, I'd be fine with that. I'd be all right.
You want to hear my other crackhead theory? Because I have a second
Yes.
crackhead theory.
Yes, please.
Okay.
we love crackheads here, Bronze, please.
So Steven can see the jackal and nobody else can.
Uh-huh.
He can also hear this voice that nobody else can.
We could see Khonshu
And-
too.
Yes, and Arthur seems like he can see and hear Khonshu too. But then he kind of does the classic cult thing of gaslighting and is like, "Oh, well, I just know his playbook because I used to be an avatar." What if he's still an avatar and the reason that he wants to awake Amit is so that he's no longer an avatar? What if there's more than one avatar?
Could be, yeah. We don't know
Because
the logistics of it. Yeah.
He gave the way he's reacting, like, oh, he said this, or oh, and the way he's responding, that to me very much is giving that he is hearing it. And then he's like, oh, well, I know his playbook. Because
Yeah.
that was my other theory until Jesse brought up the snap thing, where I was like, I don't think he's exactly free yet because of that same line of questioning that I was talking about, where I was like, well, he says, oh, there's always another job. There's always another job. And like, why Khonshu still hasn't really answered why we need to stop him from getting to Amit's tomb. Like, he hasn't really truly answered like what, like, I think if it's because if he goes there, he won't be an avatar. I think he's found a way to cleanse himself or get this, get rid of Khonshu. But that's just one of my working theories. I don't know if that's a crazy theory, but it's just something I thought.
If they were smart, the way this show would proceed is that we would all come to the understanding that no matter what's happening between Arthur and Mark, the real like asshole is Khonshu. And if we can get that scene from the comics where he just like smashes Khonshu's head, that'd be the coolest shit, period. If he was like, I'm tired of your
Khonshu
bullshit, that'd be amazing.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Like I mean, there's no like that's kind of what I like about the show, but it's also kind of like what's sad about it. Like and I like that they figured out a way to touch on it in a Marvel way, in their own way, because I felt like they were missing that with the very first episode. That's just my opinion, chat. Sorry if you don't agree. But they're like the way Khonshu talks to Mark is like an abusive relationship. Where he's like, I made you. You were dead. I fucking made you. You fucking owe me. You think you would be you? I am you. You think that body's yours? That body's mine. Like that is, I'm telling you, that's an abusive relationship. When that's not a, oh, you are my fist and you are my avatar. That's like a, you owe me, you little bitch. And I'm going to fucking take your wife. And I don't care that you're fucking attached to her because I'm going to fucking do what I want. So if you ever stop doing this for me, guess what? I'll fucking make your wife do all this shit for me instead. Are you sure you want to fucking quit? Are you sure you want to fucking turn on me? Like it is 100% manipulative, abusive. Like it's not a good relationship, right? So I understand Arthur wanting to be like why he hates Khonshu. There's actually a large part of me that doesn't hate him or begrudge him of that because it's like
He seems
Khonshu
like a dick.
doesn't seem like a good person.
Yeah,
he seems like
yeah.
a really awful person. And then you have
He's
Arthur
got his own
who
motives.
is like talking to, I felt that was when my heart broke for Steven. He's like talking to Steven, relating to them, and then he says, oh, well, you're broken. That's why Khonshu chose you. That's also grooming, manipulative, cultish behavior. Like you're broken. Your brain's broken. He goes for people that are weak. You don't have to listen to him. You could listen to me instead. Like you shouldn't listen to him. You don't have to do everything he tells you, you know, like, but Khonshu went for you because you're weak and you don't have a support system and your brain is like basically shit piled into a skull. And like, it broke my heart when Steven's like, I'm not broken. I was like, you're right, baby. Don't don't let this man, you know, talk to you like that, because I immediately recognized where I was like, oh, these are like multiple influences that are all like trying to like claw their way and they all just want this fucking scarab, right?
Yeah.
And unfortunately for Steven and Mark, they're like in the middle of it, and it's,
Well, I
don't know, it's kind of sad in places for me.
I agree. I think the scarab part of the storyline is going to be closed in episode 3. I think they're going to move quick through that, and they're going to like get to the temple. There's going to be some sort of confrontation, because we saw in some footage for future episodes that there is like an upcoming confrontation. I don't know where we go from that. If episode 4 is like mental hospital, 5 is him getting out of that through like the Lemire run, and then 6 is him basically doing what happens at the end of the Lemire run. We're accepting the like different personalities and like they're the greater some of their parts or whatever. They move forward.
There's straight up a shot. There's a shot they keep using over and over and over again in all the trailers where it's him getting shot, falling backwards into some water off like a pedestal. That is either about to happen or a flashback of how he got in with Khonshu.
He's in a suit, right?
No, he looks like he's in like his like Indiana Jones style.
Oh, his garb.
Like so it's either the past when he was with Layla and they discovered the scarab and he gets shot and falls backwards and Khonshu's like, gotcha, bitch. Or it's something that is going to happen, and then that's going to lead to him being like in his own mind, and we're going to get some weird trippy like in the 3 seconds it took him to fall backwards. He had like this whole episode in his brain. Like, I don't know. It's going to be weird. There's another thing from the trailer is they're like standing on the pyramids and like light is zooming by them.
There's some strange shit going on.
I'm ready. There's going to be some wild stuff. Yeah.
I don't know if that's like pocket dimension bullshit, if it's like the realm of the gods or the Ennead or I don't know. You know what?
It does have a like a like, you know, when like Black Panther would like go talk to Bast and there was like this like the color tonally of it. It looks very similar to that. The same purples and the same hues. That's interesting.
You brought up Black Panther. I was that's the ancestral plane, at least according to Black Panther. I really want to know if this is tied, if they tie it in within this show at all to Black Panther and Bast being like present in the MCU, because that's a straight up Egyptian god, right? Like, he's part of the pantheon.
I feel like there'll be a mention, maybe.
Yeah. The only thing that they say in Black Panther is, Njobu says, a warrior shaman received a vision from the panther goddess Bast, who led him to the heart-shaped herb, a plant that granted him superhuman strength, speed, and instincts. The warrior became king, and the first Black Panther and the protector of Wakanda. That's it.
Right.
And you see Bast with like the panther through whatever imagery they're showing.
And all the ancestors are like panthers in the tree.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
In the
come down in
ancestral
cat
plane.
form.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I don't know if that ancestral plane is like, you know, where that exists. If it's pocket dimension bullshit, if it's the realm of the gods, that like that's the little portion that Bast controls that's connected to the full realm of the gods, or if that's ever going to come up in Moon Knight. But I would love to see that sort of thing, because eventually this has to tie into the MCU, the greater MCU. They haven't done it yet. There's been like small bits and rumors and whatnot, but eventually, like, you know, a Black Knight has to show up, or a Blade has to show up, or something has to occur. And if it's just in the post-credit scenes, I'm going to feel a little bit let down because of that. But they've got so much to do in the next 4 episodes. I don't know.
Get ready to be let down then.
Yeah,
that's 100% post-credit is going to be
what
the
they
connection
could
to
do.
the MCU. Yeah.
It's probably going to be a Blade, Black Knight thing, 100%.
It's going to be Black Knight for sure. I have to. It's 100% going to be.
It's all England, yeah.
Kit Harington. I would not believe anything else.
Yeah. I mean, they could do 2 of them, but yeah.
You know what I want to talk about?
What's that?
Can we talk about that dope ass song that played at the end credits?
Yeah, I actually I let that play twice through both times I watched it. It was good.
I was gonna tweet.
I love that they didn't just do stereotypical. You know how like anytime they show like a vista of the Middle East, they do like. And here's the thing: being half Pakistani, yeah, sometimes we ululate, but that's not all of our music. Okay. So sometimes when they show these places, I'm like, okay, that's a part of the musical culture, sure, but that's not the only thing. And instead, they fucking came out with that banger. I was like, and they didn't put the red tint on Egypt. I was like, when that fucking curtain opened and that music started playing, I was like, oh, girl, I like this. I was excited.
You know, that didn't even hit me that there was no tint. It was just like
there was no red filter. It was just like
the pyramids.
It was the opposite of Wonder Woman. It was the opposite of Wonder Woman.
It was the opposite of everything, really.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this. But here you go.
I will say that scene, I think, it's Marvel does a very good job of not like when they. And I don't know if this is a post Black Panther thing, but they have done very good lately of being like, yeah, we're not going to go for the tropey version of this part of the world. You know what I mean?
Well, the
like
director
they're actually
Egyptian.
trying.
The director of this show is Egyptian, so he was probably like, "Fuck all this bullshit. Like we're gonna do this the way this should."
And I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate it because, like, Bronze is right. It is a big stereotype that. You know, anytime you go to different parts of the world, every part of the world has a special filter. Every part. Like if you're in India, yellow. It's for some reason yellow filter every time.
Yellow. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you're like in Egypt, there's like a weird red tint on everything. Every time. It's and it's like cool, I guess.
They literally did it in the Wonder Woman movie. So we're not even talking about old movies. They did it in the Wonder Woman movie. It had the ugly tint and the very one tone, one note of like what they outsiders perceive Egypt to be.
Go watch Extraction with fucking Thor himself on Netflix.
Dude, that movie is like all tinted.
It's 2 hours of tint. Like it is nonstop. one of the
But
most
it's that thing
egregious
that's, like-
films I've seen of this.
What's
like, I
funny
get
is
it. It's
the
hot. There's
but
places
it's
in
like the
America
same-
that are hot.
It's
Yeah.
the same thing that when they show an alien world in a movie,
Yeah.
or on a TV show, if it's like the alien world of the week, it's always a different tint, and that's like a weird thing to be like. Yes, in our same planet, we're gonna do the same off-world tints because like it's
Yeah.
a different place. You've never been there before.
Also,
it's crazy.
on-
Like,
on
okay.
One more note on Extraction. If you want to see Thor beat up a bunch of children, it's also in that movie. There's a fight scene where he just fights a bunch of like 10-year-olds. It happens. He straight up just like.
I tell you, Extraction is like a whatever movie, but the actress in it with the bazooka, I've never wanted to
On the
to,
bridge.
like, I
Yeah.
fell in love with the person in that one moment. I was like, oh my god.
It's a pretty
Oh, yeah.
stupid, fun film. They're making a
Yeah.
second one of them. There's a
I
second
was like,
one.
this-
So
I love her. Yeah. Oh yeah. Love at first sight. She pulled out that
Anyways.
bazooka. I was like,
the music, absolute fire at the end of that episode. I also like in the show, Marvel's done a really good job. I don't know when it started. For me, the first memorable one was Captain America in terms of characters having themes about them. The reoccurring character theme for Moon Knight that pops up is really dramatic, but also I think it's cool as shit every time it happens. They've done it like 5 or 6 times now throughout the episodes, and I'm a big fan of it. So I like that stuff. Hopefully they keep doing that. Black Panther has one. Pretty much every character has one. Does Thor have? I don't know what Thor's theme is. Thor had one in like Thor 2. I don't know if they got carried on to Thor
Thor had
3.
a theme in Thor 1 and 2, and then in Thor 3 they changed it to Immigrant Song.
Well,
They literally
I mean,
did. Anytime they played that song twice during the movie.
I mean, you kind of
Twice.
have to, right? Like that. It's just,
Understood, but just saying.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. What else? Anything else from episode 2? Kind of picked it apart.
I love their continued use of having them have conversations through mirrors, and I
Yes.
love that we got to see Mark as more than just the guy who's like, "Let me have control. I can save you. Let me do this thing." Like that was his whole episode 1 and half of episode 2 character arc, and then finally we get to see him as a person where when he's in control, the 2 things we see him do: 1, he's like, "Shut the hell up, Steven," and breaks the mirror so they can't talk anymore.
Dude, and he gets
2,
real like aggro.
Yeah,
Like he
like,
punches
I
or he
love that
kicks the
angle.
shit out of it. Yeah. It's
Yeah, that was great. And
I
then
love that.
2 is he's like super drunk in Egypt, and Steven is stuck in the mirror. Like, you know what? That shot was brilliant. The shot where it looks like Steven on the bed, and he's like, "Oh, what the hell am I doing here?" And then the camera pans, and it's Mark laying on the floor with like booze.
Yeah.
That was
I don't know if that was time travel
cinematography.
or not time travel. I don't know what that was.
No, that was
'Cause, like-
Steven stuck in like the mirror world while he was watching Mark like run the body. And because he was saying like, "This sucks. I hate being here.
Well, no.
Like, I have no
I
control.
know
I have to
that.
watch."
I'm saying the Khonshu thing. Was that a time skip, or did Khonshu like make that happen or something? You know what I'm
What do you
saying?
mean?
I felt like
Where
it was
Egypt?
a time skip.
Yeah,
Time skip.
yeah. Where he
Time
goes
skip.
from London to Egypt and like how much time actually went by. I'm very curious to know how fast that was, because it was a great transition. One of my favorites I
was
think I've
so
seen
good.
in the MCU.
Yeah.
Incredible shots throughout this entire episode, especially with when the wolf there with the backdrop of the moon. Incredible, love that one. Running on a lot of shots of him running, great.
Dude,
Incredible
the best
shots.
shot of the entire the end shot was very good, but the best shot is when he gets out of the car and Khonshu's like perched on
Yeah,
the
watch
side
him.
of the building, and his staff is like with the light, the street light. That shit was like, whoever was doing the cinematography this episode was nailing it. It was so good.
Yeah, it kind of, it's surprising to see it with how the rest of the show is shot. When they go into these weird cinematic sequences, really. And I kind of wish that stuff was on like a big screen, because it just looks fucking sick. It looks really, really good. And that was also in episode 1. A lot of great shots there too. So curious to see where we go in the next episodes. I think it's only going to get more and more weirder and more realm of the Godsy as we continue on.
I hope.
I hope it's CG was kind of weird, I think, in episode 2. They definitely seem to save on budget, making the monsters invisible, but also not invisible when she throws the water or the wine bottle or whatever. We'll see if that continues on. And I also wonder if we're going to get anything else from like the realm of the dead of Egypt, or if we're just going to continue to see jackals. It'd be kind of sick if we actually got to see the gods themselves, and whatever they look like. That would be really badass. But it might be too big of a reveal.
I would love to see that. I would love to see any other, like Khonshu's cool, but like I'd love
He's
to
a
see
minor
some of the
god.
other. Yeah, he's not like a big. But I would say Amit is a minor god too. Neither of them are part of the big 9.
And if everyone has an avatar, or at least these guys have an avatar, who the fuck is the avatar of like the big gods? Right? That seems like a much bigger character than Moon Knight. I don't know how Moon Knight became the.
Maybe they don't make avatars. Maybe they're like.
Maybe they have
uses
enough
them.
power to where they could just do what they want.
Yeah, maybe they're like in their pyramid spaceship. Like, imagine being Amit and Khonshu fighting each other, doing this type of chicanery. They're children.
They could just step in and say like, "Stop this shit." That might be a thing. But like,
Or maybe it's like when you're the older sibling and like your 2 younger siblings are fighting, and you're like, "Yeah, get them." You're gonna let them get the upper hand like that? You know, like you're watching them fight and clothesline each other and do these wrestling moves. And there's a part of you that, as the older cousin or whatever, is like, maybe I should break this up. You definitely shouldn't stone cold stunner your brother. But there's another part of you that's like, this is entertaining to watch.
Someone just said Ra's avatar is intense in the comics. I gotta see what this looks like. His name is Atum. Is that? Oh. Okay, so there's like full lore. He's the creator god, the god of fertility, originally an elder god known as Atum, who was created to slay the demons of earth, becoming Demogorg, the god eater. After he slew the creature, he ventured forth to the sun to be reborn. He became the progenitor of the Heliopolitan race of those who lived in the extra-dimensional realm of celestial Heliopolis, adjacent to Earth, and was worshipped by the people of ancient Egypt. He's also a member of the Council of Godheads, battling all threats against the pantheon of Earth. Unable to enter the earthly plane, throughout the history, he would pick a champion. This is really poorly written. Would pick a champion who would work as an avatar and be guided by his will of the lone warrior, and would be called the Sun King. They like forgot so many words there in this paragraph that I just read. I'm nervous to continue reading.
If you want to be really disappointed, go look up the Egyptian gods in Marvel. They're all like Set in Earth 616 is straight up.
That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at Ra right now. That's a tomb.
Set looks like in the for my people who are old, in the G.I. Joe movie, the old animated G.I. Joe movie, how there was like Cobra Commander, but then like the dude above Cobra Commander, who just like a dude wearing a big Cobra outfit. That's what Set looks like in Marvel. It's the least creative. It's like his lower half is Doctor Doom and the upper half is that like Cobra Commander guy. It is not very good. I hope we don't ever see that. Serpentor, yeah, it looks just like him. Dude, it's not good looking.
That's from the
now
comics.
That's cool. That's interesting.
This is Khonshu looking over the future sun god or sun king. I don't know.
It's like that. I think is super interesting. I don't know, man. It's weird that they would make Khonshu dress that way, but then I guess I don't know. Khonshu's kind of a dick, so I guess he wouldn't conform to Egyptian dress code for like the gods. I don't know. I have no idea why they look so vastly different.
I didn't. I mean, it makes sense. I didn't realize that there was that much lore on the Egyptian pantheon and Marvel. I mean, this is deep. Like, there's multiple story threads around here. I really wonder if this ever gets covered. There was the God Squad in Marvel. The God Squad was assembled by the Council of Godheads at the behest of Athena in order to fight against the Skrull Pantheon. Though most of the members are scattered and destroyed in the final confrontation, Hercules, Amadeus Cho, and Snowbird survived to return to Earth, having fulfilled their mission of crushing the alien deities, while Amatsu Mikaboshi rules over the aliens god, free of the seal of the kami at last. What the fuck am I reading? This is like way too deep in the Marvel lore books. This, I don't know if we'll ever get there. Also, by the way, the transportation device of the God Squad, it's the God Mobile. It's a wooden
Of
ship.
course it is.
It's a wooden ship donated by the Australian gods. Who are the Australian gods? I'm not clicking. I'm not going that deep. We don't need to know any of that.
You know what's so I went to go look up like all the different gods and all the different origin stuff, right? Because I was equally curious. This one passage, I don't know if this is lore that we're gonna get,
Where?
because I think this is in the Marvel database. I think that this probably is negated by the movie Eternals, but this passage is crazy. All right. One celestial came to Earth 4 billion years ago before the other celestials and died. Its body fluids spilled onto the planet, changing it forevermore. According to Loki, it is because of this giant cosmic accident that Earth is so unique among all the planets in the universe for being such a hotbed of superpowered madness.
We kind of got a little bit of that in Eternals.
I mean, we kind of got something, but really it was Earth was special because it was like there was a celestial in it. Like it was a celestial egg. It was very World of Warcraft, rather than it's special because a dude straight up like died and shed its blood on it.
Right.
But like that's a super interesting the reason why people from Earth could beat a celestial is because we are of celestials. Like that's pretty I don't know. I think that's a fun twist.
Chat's informing me now that the latest run for the Avengers, they live in the Celestial's body in the current comics that you just referenced. So I think they could keep this MCU thing going for a couple of years.
Yo, if they here's
enough
the thing.
source material to draw from.
I would.
We're gonna be 60 and watching like, oh yeah, there's Wolverine.
I would change my tune as a human being if the giant god in the middle of the ocean turned out to be the like base of a hero and a villain. If they just like someone inhabited that thing, I'd be like, greatest setup in the history of setups. All right, I'm back. I'm back in. Yeah. But right now, it's nothing. It's nothing.
It's not. It's not. I don't. I feel like there should be some sort of grandiose bet on when that's referenced, but I really don't know if it's going to be until Eternals 2.
I cannot stress to you how more and more people on Reddit are asking the same question I've had. They're like, why is no one talking about this? And it's a valid question.
Let me ask you this.
Valid question.
Jesse, does that get referenced in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness?
I'm going to let you know. I don't think it does.
Shit, because I don't think it does either. I was seeing if we had differing opinions on that.
No, I think they're not going to talk about it one bit, which only infuriates me more. Yeah, I have a feeling you're not going to talk about it. We may get something in Thor. Maybe, because that's space
But what
related.
about that Reddit thread?
Yeah, that's what we're talking
There's
about.
so many Reddit threads. So many. And everyone's like, when are they going to mention it? And they simply don't.
We could look. Black Knight specifically would know about this. If he shows up in Moon Knight in a post-credit scene, maybe. But here's the thing. Why would Black Knight go to Moon Knight and be like, bro, did you see that fucking giant man in the sky?
You won't.
Dog, I did. Cool, we're going to go fight Dracula. Like, that doesn't make sense. There's no connecting.
No, the best it's going to be is going to show up because Steven lives in England and he is also in England, and he's like, "Oh, another British superhero. I need your help. We need to go save my girlfriend in space." That is straight up
Well,
as much as we're gonna get.
if he does show up, then Captain Britain has to show up. And Captain Britain
I don't think
has been rumored to already be in like super early pre-production. So maybe
I'm thinking that there's a lot, like there's so much like Midnight Suns setup happening right now.
There is, yeah.
Like that. And if you're gonna do a group that takes on demons and dark gods,
You gotta
I
have
think
Ghost
that's a
Rider.
gateway into fighting celestials. Yeah, Ghost Rider.
Ghost
Like,
Rider's gotta be
bring
in there.
all the more fantastical things, and then you could be like, "Yo, we can defeat demons. We can do this. Like, let's go. We can take this to space and save my girlfriend."
Here's
You know what I mean? Like,
here's
I'm
the
tell-
Giga Brain hashtag not an ad thing. What if that Midnight Suns game got delayed
Got to like because
because there's going to be some tie-in with the proper
that's what I was just
MCU?
thinking, dude. That's what I was just thinking.
They're missing a bunch of members though of that in terms of like canonically.
Sure, but like they have time, and I think having a good setup. Like one of the things that we forget is all the setups we had for Marvel took 10 years,
Yeah.
and we are on technically.
Year
Let's not
2.
pretend we're technically on. I would say we're still in like maybe
Year
year
1?
1.5 because
COVID.
we
fucked
had
us.
2
Yeah.
years of COVID. Yeah, so like I would say honestly, we're still like in the very beginning of whatever's going to be the next because we got the movies that we had that were sort of like the beginning of phase 4 were the ones that should have been like 2020, and then they pushed them and pushed them and pushed them.
Yeah.
And so we're still technically, this is like we're just starting 2021 technically in the world of Marvel.
I think
So-
Captain Britain's definitely possible. Henry Cavill would be a great Captain Britain. I think he would be down to play him as well. That'd be fantastic. Ghost Rider is one of those things where it's like, look, Nick Cage was fantastic, but Nick Cage can't play Robbie Reyes, and Robbie Reyes is definitely the better version of Ghost Rider. So definitely
Agreed.
bring in Ghost Rider, potentially from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., although they're never going to fucking do that in their wildest imagination. In my wildest imagination. But some sort of Ghost Rider would be fantastic. Probably a show. And then you have the Blade movie. And then at the end of the Blade movie, that's where Midnight Suns begins. Because
Dude,
it all leads up to
imagine
Blade Night. Or Blade.
imagine
and then
the
at the end
meme
it shows
if-
up.
Moon Knight shows up in Blade and he's like, "Blade, where's my fucking money?" That'd be amazing. Blade, you nerd. That'd be so good.
Yeah, I don't know. It's cool. It's exciting. I'm getting excited about Marvel stuff again. Ever since really, I think No Way Home popped up, the craziness is back on board, and we're kind of on the path with all these shows coming out again. We've got Moon Knight leading straight into Multiverse of Madness, and then that leads into the summer. We've got Thor. We've got the ABC show of Miss Marvel is kind of. That's maybe the one where I'm a little bit like, we'll see. We talked about that before, but it could still be cool.
I think like
That'll probably have
keep
ties to
thinking
like
about-
Eternals or something.
Eternals and like it's the good so far. The watching Shang-Chi was like that was a solid good movie. Like that was a good movie.
Yeah.
And Eternals and Black Widow were like, all right, they were kind of like there were some good parts, but like it felt very phase 1-y where there's like some good stuff, but like there's also some bad stuff. But I will say that Spider-Man, you're right, it had the like hype factor.
It had
like
the big Marvel movie factor.
Yeah, there was like a hype to it that I think that we were missing so far. That even though there were some great moments and good movies, it wasn't like there was no reason to be really excited. and we had that, and then immediately after, we're getting another movie that like is hype as hell and is gonna give us a lot of stuff. And I think that's what a lot of people were waiting for is this next like, okay, now we're back in it. Like
Yeah.
we had this awesome like end fight, and we had like, all right, it's gonna take a little bit. We're gonna rev up again, but now we're like in it once more. And so I'm hoping that what we see and what we get from Doctor Strange continues from like movie to movie to movie from now on, and it just like gets wilder and crazier. And it appears that is going to be the case. So
Yep.
I'm ready.
Someone in chat also said Damian Lewis would be great for Captain Britain. I think Damian Lewis is done acting, but yes, that would be very, at least done for a while. Didn't his wife like recently die in a very tragic manner?
Yes, in 2021.
Was that Olivia Colman?
Helen McCrory.
Oh,
McCrory.
yes. Yeah. It was, I think it was from cancer. It was awful.
Oh, yeah, she was in a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He like left Billions, which was a giant show. Olivia
You
Colman.
will always
know
be my
they were
band of
married.
brothers.
Yeah, I didn't know they were married. I don't know what that says about me.
Yeah. They didn't really show,
Yeah,
you
they
know.
weren't like
Yeah.
out that couple that's like, hello world, we're together. Like, that wasn't like their thing.
Someone's asking the show, where's our tier list hosted? Is it mcucrew.com/tier list?
You're the one who set it up. Why are you
I
asking
did.
us?
I'm blanking on where it was. Chat, where is our tier list? It's been a while. mcucrew.rankings. There it is. Okay. We still need to rank the shows. I feel like we have enough shows after Moon Knight. Maybe we go and rank it. We haven't done the TV shows. Maybe that's something that we hit up.
Well,
Oh, man, now I'm
clearly,
dep-
Iron Fist is going to be somewhere near the top.
Yeah. Oh, that's, actually now that I'm realizing a lot of big things. Now that Iron Fist, all the Netflix shit's on Disney Plus and only Disney Plus, that we have to rank it all. And that means that you guys have to watch 7 seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. so that we can do an adequate ranking.
I'm gonna stick that one at the bottom. Done. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Maybe 1 or 2 seasons of it being all right does not make it good. So I'm gonna toss that one down at the bottom. Put it right under Black Widow. Done. Look, easy. Done.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is a much better show than Iron Fist. Just FYI. Like, hands down, from start to finish, I would put every episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. up against Iron Fist.
I hate most of the characters of Iron Fist, and I still think it's more watchable than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Wow. Wow.
Only because there's less of it. I think there's it's just,
There's a lot of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I'll say that much. I think you'd actually like it towards the end, though. Well, hold on. You hate Buffy, right?
Yeah, I don't like Buffy.
Yeah,
Buffy sucks.
okay. It becomes very Buffy. So, if you don't like
no,
Buffy.
I'm all right.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You know what was, can I tell you? Didn't like Hercules, loved Xena. Didn't like Buffy, loved Angel. I don't know what's going on with
Oh,
me.
Angel's the superior show.
Angel, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I love the second, like, when they finally know what the hell they're doing. The first one always sucks, and then they're like, oh, yeah, no, we know what we're doing.
Dude,
Yeah.
Angel has the fucking Muppet episode of Angel is just
Great.
incredible. The final scene
Great.
of Angel with them coming around the corner. Still, I think about that scene a lot. Randomly, it'll come
Great
to my
show.
brain.
Yeah, great.
I've seen it a billion times. I think I've watched that whole show probably 4 or 5 times thanks to TNT.
Way better. Way better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would show 2 episodes every morning, beginning at 5 a.m.
Can I tell you?
And that's what I would go to
That's how
sleep
I
with.
watched the show.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the show when it was on TV because like that show sucks. But I would like lounge around to be like, I guess this is what I'm watching in the morning, and that's how I watched all of it. Yeah, absolutely.
It's 5 and 6 a.m. I'd finish my World of Warcraft and Dota, go to bed. Oh shit!
Yes.
Time to watch 2 hours of
Yes.
Angel while half asleep.
Mhm.
It's ridiculous. Anyways,
so
let's
funny.
wrap the show. We'll get out of here. And
Yeah, we've ventured into cursed content that I want no part of.
oh yeah, we've been there for a while. It happens. That's how it goes. Also, the Darkhold and Robbie Reyes is in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., just FYI.
If Amit was here, this evil would be uprooted from
Whoa.
I'm joining Arthur's cult.
You are?
I'm gonna say
You just want that
if
dope
it
lentil
means-
soup. I get it.
if
I
it
get
mean-
it.
yeah, I want the dope lentil soup, and if it means Iron Fist no longer exists, you know what? No Iron
He would be
Fist, no
judged.
Buffy-esque Agents
Can I
of
can I
S.H.I.E.L.D.
tell you?
He'd be
Get outta
judged.
here.
Can I tell you? I think that you've made the poor choice because I imagine that you get there and be like, I can't wait till he gets rid of Iron Fist. And then Iron Fist is gonna show up and he's like, "This is a good man," and you're gonna be like, "No!" And that's it. And you're screwed. You're screwed. You're gonna
Well,
get
no,
betrayed by
hold on,
them.
Hold on. Iron Fist would just buy up the cult plantation. That's what
I'm
he
telling
would
you,
do.
he's gonna be. I'm
He
telling
would
you,
eat the lentil
Arthur's a
soup and
liar.
say, this is shit. Snap his fingers. It's bought, and then some people would just wheel in more lentil
You're a
soup
liar.
from like some 3 missions.
No, you're lying. You know for a fact that he'd get there and be like, "This is good lentil soup." You know, back in Kung Lung, they had this lentil soup that was really good, but this is like pretty good. You know, I could give you tips on lentil soup.
By
Let
the
me
way,
see
they
who goes
used
to
to
the chef.
beat me back in Kung Lung. Did you?
After they would beat me repeatedly, I would make them lentil soup. Like I can teach you how to make it. Like I've been making lentil soup for 85 years. Like yes, but I was beaten once, so I'm gonna teach you a better way. Yeah.
Bronze, do some shout outs. Let's start wrapping up the show. What do you got going on? Where can people check you out?
Hi, hello. I'm that bronze girl. I just DM'd a one shot on JP's channel called Slayer Society. It's on YouTube. Check it out if you want to. Tomorrow night I'm resuming my ongoing D&D show on my own channel, twitch.tv/thatbronzegirl. And yeah, that's it. You can follow me on Twitch and Twitter, Instagram, and I guess TikTok now.
Fantastic. Jessam, how do you feel
Oh.
that Bronze and Strippin got married over the weekend?
Oh shit, you weren't supposed to tell him that.
Well, here's the thing. Strippin's already married, so good luck having that hold up in court. And
Don't I know
also, yeah, and that's fine because I was never in it for the marriage. I was only in it for the pain, so it's fine.
Okay.
I was only in
pain-
it for the heartbreak.
You were in it for the pain and to be told that you're a good person over and over.
Yeah, I just wanted someone to tell me I'm a good guy. Anyway, so weird. Yeah, hey, do you like watching JP and I run new raids? Because I think tomorrow is the new 6.1 patch of Final Fantasy 14. We're gonna go do the new big time cool kid raid, so that should be a ton of fun. I think we said 2 p.m. Pacific.
Yep, 5 p.m.
5 Eastern, I think, is our plan. So that's
Yep,
going to be
yep.
our thing, and it should be fun. Very excited for that. So come nerd out with me and my boy.
There you go. Hello. After this, we'll be doing some MCU crew next week. See how I saved that? But I will be doing some JP&N. My brain's scattered right now. Well, I'll be doing some JP&N for the next hour, then we'll see where we go. I might play that Kingdom Hearts DLC finally now with Kingdom Hearts 4 being announced. Chat was saying it's important. I might drag myself back into it. We'll see how that goes. And then just kind of figuring stuff out for the next 2 to 3 months as there are no big releases. So different types of content, things like me and Max playing more Anno like we did this past week. Maybe fit in some Monster Hunter run of some sort, as I've been wanting to jump back into that. We'll see where it goes. We'll figure it all out, and then we'll have a more concrete schedule moving forward. So I will be back next week with you two for an MCU crew on
You're doing it. You're doing it.
the 26th. I will not be here, though. I'm out.
Oh.
Oh, wait, no. Is it the 3rd? I'll be here the 26th. It's the May. It's the 10th. I won't be here on the 10th of May. It's the weekend of Doctor Strange. So we could try to do that Saturday evening if you guys want to do. Oh, wait, no, I'll be seeing it Saturday evening. We'll have to figure it out. We either skip that week or we do it Sunday before I fly. Yeah, the 10th is Tuesday. I'm not here the 9th. Apologies. So we'll figure it out. Maybe we do a special Sunday episode of the MCU crew. If we can make it work. I don't know.
Okay.
Some to think about, some to plan. So that is that. We're out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week for episode 3 of Moon Knight. Hopefully it's a good one. And maybe even a Thor trailer, maybe next Monday. If
Not happening. It's not happening. Stop doing this to
okay.
yourself.
Okay. All right. Okay.
It's gonna be the end. It's gonna be the end of Doctor Strangelove. Don't
Maybe.
stress.
Maybe so. We're out.
Instead of a proper post credit, we'll just have a trailer.
Yeah,
that sucks.
because that's what they do now.
No, that
agreed.
sucks.
Agreed.
I hate that. Give me the trailer. We're out of here. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next week for more MCU Crew. Bye bye.